Good morning, everyone. Kampai. Boom. They got this water. And one of my favorite cups. I love this cup. This was my previous favorite because of all of the glue and all of the uniqueness about it. It's made different. I got one for each of the family, but each one of them are unique in its own way. Like these two, they're the same cup. They were made the same. Pretty much the grooves are the same, but this one, they took time to really put detail, finished, unfinished, extra glaze, lacquer, or whatever is in it. And this one is nice and all pretty. Which this one is too, but you see the size difference. So I can get more out of this one. But this is good for tea and everything. And which leads to what we're going to be talking about in the group tomorrow, Purposeful Pathway. We're still talking about uniqueness. So we're wrapping up uniqueness. Uniqueness, the Japanese philosophy is Wabi-Sabi. And Wabi-Sabi is, to sum it up, best way I can sum it up is perfection in the imperfection. And when I think of perfection and imperfection, I think of go to my Bible. I think about in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, it says, he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly, I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in my infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, in persecutions, in distress for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong." How can you say when I'm weak, I am strong? And that's because God says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. When we kind of decrease, the same being, he increases. The levels go like this. We're still 100%. If we're 50-50, me and God, 50-50 in this body, when I decrease, guess what happens? Boom! If I'm down 25%, that means it's 75% God. So anyway, perfection and the imperfection. God made us unique. He gave us things to little facets of our personality and the things that we like and don't like, our strengths, our weaknesses. Some can talk. Some are introverted. Some are extroverted. Those extroverted people can reach people. The introverted people usually can reach their own group, but they serve different needs. Okay. So Wabi-Sabi is a Japanese philosophy. It comes from the tea ceremony, which we learn a lot from the tea ceremony. Tea ceremony, we need to have tea with ourselves, and not only with ourselves. We need to have tea with God. It's an intimate time where you can share. Prayer is a two-way communication. So it's almost like meditation and prayer all combined into one, where you sit and you meditate on the things that really matter. But let's get into Wabi-Sabi. Wabi-Sabi, Wabi part of it, Wabi-Sabi is two words. Wabi is the beauty of being alone or set apart or loneliness. But there's beauty in it. The only one. How about that? And the Sabi part is graceful with age. And as things get older, they decay. or break down. But there's an elegance to it. There's a gracefulness to it. Seasoned veteran. If you ever looked at katana blades, the brand new ones are shiny, of course, but the older ones usually have a lot of detail in it. Now, they'll have scratches and everything, but there's a lot of detail in it. A lot of things that make it, define it as not antique, but you can tell it's reliable. It's been used. It's fortified. It has. It's been weathered. So Wabi-Sabi is taking that concept of the uniqueness of being seasoned. Now, a lot of us have mistakes, but what brings us strength from those past mistakes, those weaknesses, the strengths that come out because we know we've learned from what went on. So there's perfection that comes from the imperfection. When we can understand that our weakness allows God to show himself even more or to prove he exists, well, then we are looked to as strong. In our Bible study group in the mornings, we're in Leviticus now, but a few weeks ago we were reading all about Moses and how Moses had a lot of weaknesses. He didn't have a lot of confidence in himself, but God used him. He allowed God to take over. And even when he had excuses, God brought somebody alongside of him. He still said, Moses, you the one. You're going to do it all. But he brought Aaron and his sister too, all together to make things run smoothly. And all these miracles happen. Same as with us. When we are trying to do things, when we're trying to accomplish our goals, we're trying to do such great things, when we realize that we can't do it all and we can depend on God, God can bring those people alongside of us. Not only that, our weaknesses, our strengths, when we rely on our own strength, we tend to push God out or tell God that, hey, take the back seat. I got this. Okay? And it shouldn't be like that. When we realize that we can't do it all and we have the power that wants to come alongside of us and strengthen us, prop us up, and help us to do the great things that he's called us to do, then the whole concept of Wabi-Sabi comes to life. There's perfection in the imperfection. The things that I believe that are my weaknesses, God sees that as an opportunity to make me even stronger by partnering with somebody else or giving me a companion, giving me somebody who can do those things that takes that load off of me, because that's not my strength. What we tend to do is to try to control everything because we want control. But another thing about the strength, when we're trying to be perfect and we're trying to show our strength and we're trying to flex, we try to make ourselves be flashy. And which brings us back to the tea ceremony. Sen Rikyu was considered the godfather of the tea ceremony. And tea ceremony was a way to really have an intimate time with whoever the guests were, right? So the nobles and the upper echelon, those the aristocrats, they took it to a whole nother level. They'll instead of having the favorites, they only put out the good stuff. And most of the good stuff, even the rooms, like the tea ceremony room, would be full of gold and nice wallpaper, and you have all kind of glassware and all these things to make yourself look good. But Rikyu, what he did when he came in, he stripped it all away. He's like, no, none of this. And I think, as it was explained, his favorite cup, kind of like mine, his resembled it resembled a piece of broken tile off the roof. And that's what he liked. I mean, it was humble. It was, I want to say pure. It was just what was needed. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't anything like that. It was unique to him. And as he took the things out of the tea ceremony, as he took the flashiness out of it, he brought it down to strip it down to where you don't focus on anything but you and the person that you're having tea with. And as you're together, the outside world doesn't matter. All this doesn't matter. All that matters is the essence of the conversation that you're having. You being in the Ichigo Ichie, which we'll get into next week. But the whole concept was to take the focus off the things. Just remember, my strength is made perfect in weakness. That's what God is saying. We decrease ourselves. We become infants, really. We become children. We're not the strong, we got this. Well, usually when you say, I got this, you're usually saying, I don't need help. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, I don't need it. So we put it back. We put the whole essence of being together back to being together. And not when we go into our prayer closet, we don't command. I need this. I need this. I want to do this. I want this happening. And we hang up the phone and we walk out. No, when we're in that state, that tea ceremony state, I'll probably make a name for it, or I'm pretty sure there's a name for it, where nothing else matters. It's he talks, I listen. I talk, I have confidence that he's listening. How can I be so confident? Because he said, ask, and I shall receive. Seek, and I shall find, and knock, and the door shall be open. Those opportunities will be open to me. I don't have to worry about it. All I need to do is to really relax and focus on being in his presence. That's what the tea ceremony is all about. It's just the focus on being in the presence of the person that you're having tea with, or the people that you're having tea with. The outside world doesn't matter. The strengths that you have don't matter. The weaknesses that you have don't matter. Because in the concept, Wabi-Sabi, our strength really comes from being unique. This is, this might have a crack in it. And it might have been fixed. And I have no idea if it has or not. But the strength is coming from its uniqueness. The preference for it is coming from its uniqueness. I bought this, but I prefer this. This one looks better to me, I mean, really. But I really enjoy how unique this one is. Same as this. I enjoy this too, but I love this cup. So, as you go throughout your day today, or the rest of this week, think of all of those strengths that you have. And that's a good thing. But don't be discouraged by your weaknesses. Because your weaknesses, see your weaknesses as an opportunity for God to show out in your life. All right? So, have a great day. Remember, tomorrow, Thursdays, on Zoom, I'll send you a link if you want to be a part of it. It's free. We do Purposeful Pathway. Have a good day.